Hey there, Capricorn. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a reading for the remainder of January 2025. We'll see what might be going on for you the rest of this month. I think that there's going to be a big turning point this month. I think the turning point is going to come as a result of acknowledging in a very deep and real way some hurt or heartache or sadness that's probably felt very overwhelming and seems to be at odds with a lot of other positive energy happening in your life. And it doesn't feel like a hopeless situation at all, but it feels like a challenging one. It feels like the kind of almost a really bittersweet feeling. And I'll unpack that for you because I know that can be that can feel troubling. I'm sure it's like no matter how positive, and there's big positivity, like big power, big influence that you will have on your life, your experience, the things that you're calling in to experience, big changes. All of that power and big opportunity is coming through. It's the weight of that of the heart or the sadness that's there. It's like, I think sometimes we can't help but feel the weight of that a little bit more, at least in the beginning. And maybe even at this moment, it kind of feels. So at the heart of your reading for this month, you have the Six of Swords. It feels like there is a strong, empowered movement away from a situation that's felt very either embroiled in conflict or just a lot of dynamic energy that has felt hurtful or damaging, or has created a sense of, or a feeling of hopelessness that has reached a point of exhaustion. And now you're moving in a direction that is much freer, much more calm, less embroiled in conflict. I mean, it's interesting to me that a word like embroiled keeps coming to mind, because it feels like you've been caught in something that has made you feel quite small. And that feeling could involve other people that you care about very much too. There's a feeling of moving in a new direction away from this, choosing something different from this, even if it feels like anything different from this, in order to help yourself or someone you love, the people you love, and even your sense of your adult self and your child self. You know, that child that we all carry. And it's understandable if there's a sense of fear in whatever this little pivot is, away from conflict or drama or just confusion of some sort. The power is here. And it's important. It's the right move. And now we're going to unpack your reading just a little bit more. So in your conscious realm this month, this is what is going to be happening in the world around you, the things that you're very aware of as happening. You have the Ace of Pentacles. So there's going to be a feeling of a new opportunity handed to you. And I'm going to go ahead and clarify this Ace of Pentacles now, because with the energy of the Six of Swords at the heart, this new opportunity could come through in a variety of ways. And it may feel, we're going to see what the feeling is that you have about it, the connection to the opportunity. Because at a time like this, when there's this big move away from something that's been very difficult, a new opportunity doesn't always feel easy to lean on, trust even. But let's see what's actually coming through for it. Okay. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles is clarified by the Fool, the Six of Pentacles, and the Death card, the card of transformation. Yeah, I think as a result of whatever your change you're making, it's asking you to begin at the beginning again. And there's a strong need for trust, for faith that what you're doing is correct, and that you'll have the resources that you need. And it might feel like a big ask for you, particularly because there's so much transformation going on around you. And again, this sort of transformation, it can be your own, you know, a sense of a profound shift for you. It can also feel like the people around you or the situations around you are changing very, very dramatically, very strongly. There could be feelings of, you know, feeling further isolated from other people in some sort of way. Yet again, this is around a new opportunity in the physical world. This is And it does also feel related to giving gifts in some manner. Yeah, again, there's this feeling of like big, profound shifts happening, maybe in ways that you've invited in, or imagined in earlier times in your life, and now certain things are showing up for you that you really desired, that you're ready and excited about to begin the journey with. And it seems like it can very well be a gift that you're ready to give to the world. Something that is given and received back in a way that is very favorable to you, that you envisioned. Yet at this moment in time, there's other things going around that might make this feel like, is this like what's happening? Like, why would wishes be being fulfilled at this moment where I feel like I can't receive them? Or that there is so much dramatic change happening around me that there's part of my life that doesn't feel known anymore. Or it's like maybe a feeling of not being able to capitalize on the new things coming in because you're overwhelmed by change. Let's just keep that energy in mind while we keep going, because I think it's going to open up. But I understand, again, this bittersweet feeling here. And in your internal realm, in your sort of your subconscious life, the things that are moving within you that may not be as obvious as, you know, what's going on in your physical world. You have the Three of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. There's like strong feelings of sadness and heartache that seem to be intertwined with your sense of community or family or belonging, the people around you. There's again maybe feelings of big change happening in this physical world around you that are just, it's complicating things, and you may be feeling love or seeing community coming together in a way that is very beautiful to you. I also sort of get the sense of like leaning on other people in moments of stress, of tragedy, of you know, dramatic change in life where people need other people and other people are coming through to help. There's sort of a sense that people are around. I don't get the feeling of loneliness in this reading. Like, for whatever feelings of heartache, sadness, or even anger or resentment might be here, there is not a feeling of aloneness. There's also a feeling of maybe a certain type of opportunity coming through again, where you wanted everyone to be involved in a particular vision that you have. You wanted all the pieces of the life as you knew it at one point in time to come together in a harmonious way. And possibly the heartache here is that there are certain parts of life that just are not going to be able to come all the way together as this sort of new journey is starting, this new iteration of life, this new chapter, however you might be thinking about the change that's in front of you. In your challenge for this month, you have the Magician. So there may be a difficulty again in bringing all of the pieces of life together in the way that feels harmonious and unified, integrated. The Ace of Pentacles really is popping through in this reading, and so there might be a real sense of frustration or challenge this month with like, Why does this have to be showing up now in this time of stress, of this time of shakeup? Or why does the shakeup need to be here while I'm getting what I had asked for? Like, why is life not harmonious in this? There's maybe a feeling of cruelty, or maybe a feeling of like anger, honestly, that could be coming up in this mix. And if that's not resonating, or that doesn't feel right, like, don't make it fit, because you'll know in your heart if that feels right or not. And there's no sense, don't force it. But I do think that there's some real frustration points in the energy for the rest of this month. Not in a way that's not like you can't overcome it. Like you can work with this. But the challenge is going to feel like the pieces not all coming together at the same time when you really, really want them to. Let's clarify the Magician a little bit. See if there's, don't want to make... I want to make sure to have as full a picture on that as we can. Oh man, yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah, I think there's sorry, an interesting thing going on with the cards showing on the deck there for a minute. To clarify the Magician in your challenge, you have the King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. Yeah, there's a feeling of a lack of harmony, and maybe people in your life being on different pages in different moments, and frustration or challenge, emotional burnout maybe in some sort of way, that life is not feeling very together at this moment, or feelings of fragility. One person may be very much in their head trying to figure out the difficulties of a situation or to see something clearly, maybe wanting to get to the heart of a matter in the only way that they know how, which is through analysis in some sort of way. And then another person maybe caught up in wanting to feel more grounded, and again, living harmoniously, but maybe in a way that is just more grounded rather than in the head. Taking care of physical needs, whereas one person is tending to the logistics of life, the logical, like what needs to happen next, kind of attempting to solve a problem in some sort of way. No one has the same role, but are attempting to, trying to solve a problem in their own way that they know, but it's difficult to unite everyone, all the pieces. And if this isn't necessarily you and another person or other people around you trying to figure out a problem of some sort, it may be showing up as energies in you, where there is maybe a confusion in some sort of way between, what you're called to be figuring out versus what you're intended to just sit patiently with and invite in, let it be gifted. A tension between the doing and the receiving in life. When confusion around what your needs are, even there, and it could feel like there are so many options on the table, so many ways of working with what life is putting in front of you, that There could be a sense of paralysis or just burnout or tiredness, frustration. And with the magician in the challenge, like again, if this isn't like actual people and conflicts as to how to move through a situation, it can be difficulty properly manifesting or inviting in the opportunities that seem to be wanting to come through, like a sort of being stuck in some sort of way. But I'm getting what it's starting to feel like is that maybe you're tackling the arenas in life separately without actually having things come together. And what I mean by that, well, what I'll try to get to with that is that in your advice you have the Temperance card. And this is about alchemizing things, of taking elements and making them into something new. So taking things that may not be harmonious and striking some sort of balance with them, maybe approaching problem solving in a new way, and something that seems a little bit more playful or a little bit more light at very least. And maybe trusting that things are a little bit more malleable than they seem. It sort of feels that like whatever the frustration might be is like, in particular, I'm drawn to like the head hurt of like, which is like trying to figure out how the pieces come together, with thinking. There's like there's almost like a rigidity in trying to figure something out. Let me go ahead and clarify the Temperance card for you, because I think I'm getting lost in it myself a little bit. I feel you though. This is hard stuff to work with. I think it is. I think there's going to be tension between people, and even if it's not like tension per se or conflict, it's going to be difficulty with connection and meeting each other, particularly like kind of softening. Like, so for instance, if two people like have two separate stances on an issue, how to solve something, like there is a healthy compromise that can be worked out where, because, yeah, all right, so the Temperance card is clarified by the Two of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. So if you can if you can sort of take a step back and recognize that in whatever way you're trying to problem solve, it's not quite so serious as you might have been making it out to be. You can play with it a little bit more loosely. Imagine water in the way that you're working with things. Water is very soft, very pliable, very malleable, and it can move and fit the shape of the container. So it's like maybe you're trying to problem solve with like old methods or like very fixed ways of seeing something, when the situation is very malleable. If you kind of just acknowledge you don't really know how to fix it or what to do, but you're willing to make space for new information to come in. And that new information might come in through interactions with other people, of recognizing what gifts they have to give, of where their heart is in making the suggestions that they're making, or in kind of sharing their truth with you, finding the heart of the matter in this. Because there's, again, the Page of Pentacles here is illustrating that, like, and it may not just be you who's getting like new opportunities in some sort of way. It might be other people as well, trying to figure out how to take advantage of a new opportunity, how to put in the work to begin to accept something, or to begin to invite something new in. It feels kind of vague at the moment, but the highlight, I think, is like no one really being an expert right now on how to take advantage of this moment. And that's okay. What you're actually aiming to do, though, is honor everyone. Honor yourself and honor the other. You know, there's the temperance. It's a very angelic energy, and there's a higher mindedness in this. So maybe a first step is just kind of admitting that you don't really know what to do, but you're willing to receive new information about how to do it. Wherever that may be, whether it's other people, whether it's a moment of just insight, whether it's curiosity, as to like how might this go differently than I've been imagining it over and over again. New ideology. And then maybe also working like from the end backwards. So like how would I feel honored and appreciated and in harmony? Like what outcome would allow me to feel this way, and start with that feeling. Because there may be sort of a desperation thinking where like this is here, this opportunity's here, but there's still like a difficulty in the mix, and I don't know what to do. But yeah, it's so like if that's what like the thing that's propelling you is like that confusion or that uncertainty or even like the heartache, it's hard to break out of that mindset. If it's hard to reach a place of positivity from that negative mindset, but if you can invite the feeling of what it would be like to feel harmonized and appreciated and valued and whole, that will help you get there. That's kind of like your orientation point. So maybe changing the orientation point and allowing things to be playful. You know, this is just kind of a moment of fluidity where there can be gracefulness in this moment if you allow grace, but rigidity or stubbornness is not helpful at the moment, or at least for the remainder of this month. So now let's get a couple oracle cards to kind of leave some lasting impressions, some things to carry with you forward that will be helpful in navigating this. Let's just try to unpack it a little bit more, or wrap it up a little bit, because it's difficult. It does seem like you're being asked to soften in some ways and become very vulnerable in a situation that already feels quite vulnerable. And I can understand, frustration in that, tenderness, sadness. But let's see if there's some parting messages to leave you with here from the oracle cards. Just grab a sip of coffee here real quick too. Ooh, need some energy. Could be something too, you want to, keep an eye on your energy, where it's going. Maybe not. I don't know. That might be bullshit. Maybe I just wanted to drink a coffee. Maybe. Oh, goodness. Man. One more. Okay. Yeah, I think, there's just such it's such a vulnerable feeling time. It's like life's given you the best of the love, the best of the connection, the most profoundly heart-stirring moments at this time, yet also just so vulnerable. And it's probably going to really be shining a light on where your sorrows are, like the hardships. But like kind of a reminder to not be swept away in them. So let me go ahead and show you. Your oracle cards for this month. You have celebration, the outsider, isolation. If I can get them all together here. And no thingness. And I'll try to hold these up one at a time as we go to give you a stronger impression. But with celebration, again, there's a feeling of community here. Like I don't get a feeling of loneliness. The people aspect is very much here. There can be challenges with the people, but there's a heartfulness, like through whatever sadnesses there may be. There's celebration at the same time, like a lightness and a levity, like deep feelings of life being lived that may not have been able to be birthed except on the tail or in unison with a heavier aspect, a sadness. Yet this is here to bring you through, and this connection is good. This connection is real. You don't have to fear it. It's there for you. The feelings, though, your individual feelings, it's like many things can very likely be triggered at this time. So while you do have the connection with people, there are going to be moments where you feel alone. Feel kind of locked out. The lock is not, it's not locked. The gate can open, that connection that to the love, the brightness, that essentially that no thingness, that deeper experience, the more expansive nature, it's there. But whatever the sadness or the stress is at this time can leave you feeling very vulnerable, childlike, and locked out from the deeper love. Again, there's going to be a lot of transformation happening with you and around you in your physical world. It seems like at this time, but there's sort of like a reminder to just be aware of when you feel isolated, when you feel small, constricted, not warm, when you feel far from the warmth, the love, the light. Just being aware when that is coming up, because that is not meant to you are not meant to remain isolated. This man, this is just a difficult energy, I'll be real with you, because while no thingness is the advice, kind of holding loosely to your experience at this time, like sort of feeling how each moment can transform and lead to the next thing. The no thingness is the space that our life occurs in. It's sort of like encouraging you to not be so caught in a situation that feels like life draining, because there's an illusion there of some sort, or there's a holding on to something a little bit too tight. I don't feel like I'm giving you a satisfactory message with that, so I would like to consult the guidebook on this one. Give me 1 second to find it. We're going to take a look at what it says for no thingness, because I'm feeling like there's something in there important for you to hear. Okay. Well, short and sweet. This is no thingness. Being in the gap can be disorienting and even scary. Nothing to hold on to, no sense of direction, not even a hint of what choices and possibilities might lie ahead. But it was just this state of pure potential that existed before the universe was created. All you can do now is to relax into this nothingness, no thingness. Fall into this silence between the words. Watch this gap between the outgoing and incoming breath, and treasure each empty moment of the experience. Something sacred is about to be born. It feels like if you are to take any of the individual experiences for the rest of this month as, if you were just to consider and feel them in and of themselves, life may feel quite overwhelming. There's so much love and connection and warmth in this reading, as well as sadness and challenge and stress. Yet, if you think of your life experiences as right now, particularly as this thing that is moving and washing and almost like water, moving, flowing, not staying still, that whatever intense emotions or life moments you may be experiencing, from one moment to another, they in and of themselves are not your totality. They're not your experience, and they will shift. Things will change. They will move. And again, some big transformation is coming through. It feels like there is a life chapter that could be coming to an, but actually more focus on the beginning of a new chapter. Something strong coming through without. There's some reason you're not meant to see very much of it yet. It feels like whatever it is going to be very big and very profound. And the advice seems to be to watch the flowing of the moments. And as with the breath, rather than focusing on the in and the out, what's the space between the moments? What's going on there? So Capricorn, I wish you all the best for this month. And genuinely, from my heart, I can't wait to see the good things that come through on the other side of this more trying or just challenging time. So I feel you, and I hope to talk to you again soon, and I hope that there's something helpful in this reading for you. Thank you for your time and your attention. Take care.